Hello everyone, welcome to biology class presented by Mohit Alfred. Dear students, today onwards we begin our biology classes in an online mode. This is the part 1 of the series. Before we begin, here we have our textbook. You have to refer to this in Innovative Biology by Good Luck Publishers Limited. Let us begin. Here we have the chapter number 1, plant tissues. In this, what we are going to learn, let us see here. First, we will see what are actually the plant tissues, or what is the definition of tissues. Followed by that, we will categorize the tissues of the plants into meristematic and permanent tissues. Furthermore, we will have a look on the simple and the complex permanent tissues. In each of these categories, we will see the structure and the function of various kind of plant tissues, the individual function of these plant tissues in the plants. Let us have the first topic here, that is, what is a tissue? In each of the living organism's body, we are having structural units or the functional units. These are the basic units of life. What these basic units of life are called as? They are called as cells. So cells are what? Cells are the basic unit of life, the smallest level of the life. So when these different cells are forming a particular an entity in the forming a particular living organism's body, the different cells are performing different functions. And if a particular group of cells, different cells are there, and if they are forming a group of cells, then that group of cells is also responsible for a particular function, that is doing some certain function. So if a group of cell is performing a specific function, that group of cell is only called as a tissue. That is the definition of tissue. The cells having a similar function forming a unit is called a tissue. That is what is called as tissue. Followed by that, if a group of tissues are combining together, which are all the tissues are performing same function or similar function, then they will form an organ. Followed by that, if different organs are combining together and they are working for a specific function, then it will form an organ system. How? For example, in the digestive system, different organs are there. All the different organs are working towards the digestion of food. That is what is called as organ system. Followed by that, we have the organism. How the organism is made? That is comprising different types of organ system. For example, human beings have different kind of organ system are there: a respiratory system, digestive system, excretory system, and so on. So different organ systems combine together to form an organism. So the smallest level is what? Cells performing similar function is called a tissue. Tissues performing similar function, they form together what? They form organ. Then followed by different organs, and they are doing a specific function, they will form a group. That group is called what? That group is called as organ system. Different organ system combine up together to form an organism. That is all any kind of living organism is made up of. Let us have one more definition here, that is histology. What is histology? It is the study of tissues and their function. As the chapter we are studying is about tissues, so if the study what is this study of tissues called? The study of tissues and their function is called histology. All these terms are important to mark in your textbook. Especially you have to learn the definition of tissue and the definition of histology. Let us come to the next topic now, that is about the plant tissues. How the plant tissues are classified into different categories. Let us have a reading of the first point there. In plants, there are many cells meant for performing different kinds of functions like transportation of water, minerals, etc. So just one function I have taken. For example, the roots of the plants are absorbing the water from the soil, and then that water is moved upwards towards the different parts of the plants. Into the leaves also that water is going. But how it is going? That is, something should be involved there. Some different kind of cells should be there. to carry this water upwards from the roots of the plant to the leaves of the plant. So that is what is the role of the tissue. Just one tissue example I have taken, that is xylem tissue. So that is an example only. So the different plants are having different kind of tissues, and they are performing individual functions. Those group of cells performing a specific function. So that is again the definition comes here. For the tissues, the group of cells more or less alike in shape, that group of cells are similar in shape, performing the same function and having a common origin. This is the complete definition for tissues. So in the plants, we are having two categories of tissues. One is called as meristematic tissue. Another kind of tissues are called as permanent tissues. Two tissues, both the names you have to remember: meristematic and permanent tissues. In today's class, in this video, we will be discussing only about the meristematic tissue. Followed by that, next video will have a discussion on the permanent tissues. Let us have a glance over the meristematic tissue, and then we will read about its types. What is meristematic tissue? These tissues are actively dividing cells which are located at the growing tips of the roots, stem, and the leaves. This tells the function itself. These cells are which type of cells? Which are actively dividing rapidly. Single cell and divides into different different number of cells. So fastly these cells are growing, and where they are present at, they are present at the growing tips, at the ends of the roots, stem, and the leaves. And now we will have a look at the types of the meristematic tissues. First one, now all these categories are made on the basis of location, where this meristematic tissue is located or placed in the in the particular plant body, where we will find this meristematic tissue. First one is apical meristem. Apical meristem is found at the tip of the stem and the roots. At the tip means at the end of the roots and the stem. What it is doing? It is bringing about the elongation of the stem and roots. What is elongation? Elongation means growth. The growth of the stem. The stem will grow upwards, the roots will grow downwards. But because of what? Because of apical meristem. Apical meristem cells are doing what? They are dividing. These cells are dividing and new cells are forming. As the new cells are forming, what will happen? The plant's growth will take place. The plant body will grow. And where it is growing? It is growing at where it is present. It is present at the shoot and the roots, or the stem and the roots. That is why we can say apical meristem leads to the elongation of the stem and the roots. The stem becomes long, that is plant's height will increase, and the roots will grow downwards deeper into the soil. Next one is lateral meristem. The lateral meristem is found where? Beneath the bark and the side portion of the stem and the roots. Its function is to do what? To increase the diameter. Now if this is a plant and it is increasing the diameter of the plant will become broader and broader. The width of the plant will increase. The third one is intercalary meristem. Where it is present? It is present at the base of the internodes. What it is doing? You may be confused. What are the internodes? Just we will have a glance at the diagram followed by this slide only. First you see the function here, the function to produce an increase in the length of the plant organs, not the plant body, the plant organs. So if we are having a normal plant, that plant is having certain branches. So internodes are those areas where the new branches are coming. This particular area where the branches are coming. Let's just have a look here now. The diagram is given in your textbook also, and you have to draw this diagram in your class notebook. This is the homework for this week, that you have to draw this diagram in your notebooks. So first one, we will have a look on the apical meristem. It is present where? At the tip of the stem. Also the root, in the diagram the roots are not shown, so they are not shown here, but if the roots would be there, they would be present on the tips of the roots also. And what it is doing? It is responsible for the growth of the stem and the growth of the roots. Overall, what will happen? The length of the plant will increase. The second one, the intercalary meristem. It is present where? At the internodes. Intercalary meristem is present at the internodes. So what are internodes? that is where the part where the branches of the plant are growing. The branches are growing at that place called as internodes. So these are present at the internodes and the growth of that plant organ. For example, this branch is growing from here. So that intercalary meristem will be responsible for the growth of this plant branch or that particular organ of the branch. Next one, that is the lateral meristem. These are present in the stem there, and what is doing, it is increasing the width of the plant. So that is all the three types of meristematic tissues. Apical meristem, they are doing what, elongation of the stem and root. Second, lateral meristem, what they are doing, they are increasing the diameter of the plant organs. Third one, intercalary meristem, what it is doing, increase the length of the plant organs. These are the three different categories of the meristematic tissue. And don't forget the homework as well, the diagram you have to draw in your notebook. The next topic now is structure of meristematic tissue. Let us have a look on the structure of this tissue. What kind of cells are these? The first one, the cells of the meristematic tissue are small in size. They are small cells. What kind of shape it is? It is spherical. Spherical means almost circular only, like a ball. Next one, longitudinal. They can be longitudinal, means elongated. In center they may be long and having tapered ends, means circular from both ends, and in between they may be long. That is longitudinal. Or oval in shape. Oval shape, you may be aware of that. That is like an ellipse. That is an oval in shape. So different kind of shapes may be there. Next one, each cell has a very thin cell wall. The cell wall is very thin. Next one, what is cell wall? That is the outer boundary of the cell. That is very thin. Next one, they are completely arranged without any intercellular space. That is between adjacent cell, between the different cells, you will not find any space. Different cells will be joined together. All the, suppose this is a cell, another one will be exactly attached to it. In between you will not find any space. There will not be any space in between the different meristematic tissue, meristematic cells. Next one now, each cell contains a large and conspicuous means visible nucleus surrounded by abundant cytoplasm. That is, each and every cell of the meristematic tissue contains a nucleus. In the center of the cell you will have what? You will have nucleus. Followed by that what? The cell body is filled up of a certain liquid. That liquid which is filled in the cell is called as cytoplasm. So cytoplasm is present in these kind of cells. Also, one more line is there. The vacuoles are generally absent. They are not present in the meristematic tissues. You should have been gone through when you have studied the structure of cell, the plant cell and animal cell. Already you studied in lower classes also. Still, I'm again telling you the facts which are needed in this lecture. Now, the next topic is about the functions of meristematic tissues. What they are performing already I have told you. Let us have a discussion on this. The cells of the meristematic tissue divide continuously, as in the definition it was given. Meristematic tissue are what? They are actively dividing, so that is its function only. These cells divide continuously, and by this cell division what will happen? The increase in the plant length and the plant girth. Girth means width of the plant increases. First and the most important function is this only, because these cells are doing what? They are actively what? Dividing. Because of the cell division, what will happen? Because of this, there will be an increase in what? Increase in the length of the plant organs. That is, the stem will increase in length, and what will, that is the plant root will increase in length. So that is the increase in the length of the plant will take place ultimately. Also, what will happen? There will be an increase in the girth. Girth means the width of the plant will become wider on the stem part. If we wind up today's class, that is all for the meristematic tissues and their categories. I hope you have understood what are meristematic tissues what are the different types and what are their functions. Thank you.